Alrighty, now that all of that's out of the way. Hey everybody, Seven here. Thank you so much for joining me in Planet Crafter. Now, yeah, I totally, I flew out to the volcano area, and, well, as you can see, it's going to be a little bit before we get this thing moving. I think I have access to the first speed increase, but I didn't make it. 2 rockets is a little over our pay grade right yet. Also, clearly I should have made the headlights, because oh my god. So the response to my little experiment with that intro was actually really positive. It's just something I'm trying to test out for the pacing, and also I'm really grasping at straws on how to shrink up these videos, because the last couple of Planet Crafter and Medieval Dynasty videos really got away from me. So this one should ideally be a pretty short one. So in the last episode, I was talking about how normally every location gives you the coordinates to the next location. And after tearing that place apart, I didn't find anything. There was just nothing there. I can't even tell you how sick to death I am of needing boxes. We got to get this whole breathable atmosphere thing under control. So yeah, didn't make the next upgrade of speed. Didn't make the headlights for the thing. Listen, there were a couple of things that I just... That intro was probably an hour's worth of recording that's ideally going to get shrunk up into like 5 minutes or less. So anyway, no coordinates, but from previous playthroughs, I do have one location in mind that could be beneficial. Now, I have been forewarned that the idea or the location that I already have in mind might not pan out quite the way I want it to. But, hell, do not tell me that I cannot get... Okay. Fine. We'll just do this differently. So yeah, I was told that the location that we're driving off to right now, it might not pan out. It used to be accessible just with enough heat. It was a melt thing. Melt the ice out of the way, you get access. It's clearly a wardened location, or at least it was back in the day. I would imagine that it still probably is. That's fine. That happens to me sometimes. I thought there was already a box out here. There was not. We're gonna need... Damn it, I left it down there. Okay, we're gonna need enough stuff for at least one more box. And we might want enough stuff for a crafter as well. Only problem is, this is the crater, and the crater just as a whole seems to be very iron deficient. Yeah, there's always been loads of magnesium, loads of titanium, plenty of silicon and cobalt around. But iron, you know, the level 1 resource that makes you your first drill and, you know, makes you your first crafting station, makes you your boxes, makes you windmills. iron is like the one commodity that's just incredibly hard to find around these parts. And that's actually one of the contributing factors to why, okay, hardcore is just a hard mode to play on, but playing any difficulty level in the crater is just that much more difficult. Now, I didn't necessarily need to bring the rover. In fact, I'm already low-key kind of regretting my decision with how tight some of those corridors were. Ah, that's the target. But we're deficient now on blueprint ships. And there's that right there. And... oh, I can actually see it. Outstanding. Now, I brought a water with me just in case, but that should be completely unnecessary. I mean, once you have that filter, water is no longer a concern. Oh, you... I swear, man. Sometimes it's just a walnut. Although, that probably was good to err on the side of caution for that one, because what I generally, just as a carte blanche rule, is if I make one of those, a crafter or a blueprint decoder, generally just for the power consumption, I'll tear the thing down immediately. So, I oopsed, but I oopsed in a way of, I know myself. Oh, if that's the case, might as well... where is it here? Alright, perfect. Same resource count, might as well leave it. Now where'd you go? Because the neat thing about the draw distance is sometimes you can cheat a little bit. Ah, there you are. Now, the tricky thing about being underwater is... yep, this is him trying to get higher. Yeah, we'll take all this. Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing back there. Water bottle that we don't need. Oxygen canister that we will take. Yeah, I'll take that too. That's what we're here for. Nice. So now the previous episode came out before the update. Then I skipped an upload. Didn't even record because I saw that the update had dropped. Tier 2 equipment increase. Good deal. So once I saw that the next level, or the next update had dropped, I was just about to record this episode and said, nope, we got to jump on that. But yeah, the thing about being underwater is, even in a breathable atmosphere, you can't breathe underwater, obviously. But when you're approaching breathable atmosphere, your oxygen consumption slows. It slows and slows and slows until it stops, eventually. But underwater, even as it's slowing down, your oxygen consumption is going to go much faster than it will on the surface. So, important safety tip there. Yeah, he tried sending a message. Frick. Alright, we got a bail already. Well, I guess we could build a box here. Yeah, we'll build a box and, I mean, heck, we're gonna have so much iron, we'll easily afford probably several lockers. Yeah, the thing's been dinging off the hook with, all these various tree seeds we've been uncovering. Cool, I guess. But I am very glad that we found all of that extra oxygen. Because where we're going, assuming that we can get there... yeah, Nicholas and Cyadan are just... they're two of the coolest characters in this game. And for having absolutely zero voice dialogue, it's literally just text. I mean, you don't even ever see their face, you never ever actually meet them or anything. For being purely text-based, there's some surprisingly fleshed out characters. That's just good writing right there. There it is. Nice, nice, nice. So yeah, going forward, all of these blueprint ships are now going to be exceptionally important. Wait, this one, nothing? Yeah, one of them was just a plain old dead end, and then one of them, yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Poor Ichlas. And he looked like he was actually making a decent stand of it, too. Like, he had power, he had food growers, like... Yeah, look at this, he even had, like, a decent little bedroom down here. Like, he somehow managed to, dig underground, which is something that we can't even do. He had quite the nice little house for himself. All right, so we're gonna load up the truck, and actually, that might not be a bad time to test something that I got an interesting comment in the update video. Ah, damn it! That's exactly what I was hoping for. Oh well. But in the update video, I got an interesting comment about the picking up ability of the truck. Now, I was all about it. I was 100% all for that at the time of, recording that video. But someone brought up a potential exploit for it. And, what would happen if you loaded the truck and then tried to pick the truck up? Now, what I'm expecting to happen is all this crap to just explode and fall on the ground. Or that. I was thinking, like, there's no way that Maiju isn't going to plan on and anticipate people trying to make an exploit like that. So the second the rover came into existence, I was like, no, they've already planned on people doing something funky with it. That's a lot of super here. We don't really need it. Interesting. I don't know as though I'm expecting any messages. Says we don't need the super, proceeds to fill pockets with super. Sounds about me. Immediately 1 second later, now I'm thinking, well, the reason that we didn't get the speed increase was because I said the rockets. 2 rocket booster engine things was a little bit of a price to pay. I mean, you saw in that intro the amount of resources we sunk into personal upgrades, into machines that we put down, building upgrades, all sorts of stuff that we were throwing around out there. We actually used a pretty good chunk of super, including some super rods. So we kind of went through some stuff. All right, now that's the target right there. Not the Pulsar Cave. Have we searched this? Oh. That means, okay, if we're getting them free in boxes like that, then that means we've crossed the TI stage to access the trade rocket itself. So we have access to auto crafting, which I have not done anything with yet. Damn, I was really hoping to just drive up that. Okay. We probably can get it to go up it, but it would probably require engine upgrades. Nope, you're going. All right, killer. I was gonna say, that's probably a whole lot easier with some speed boost, but I wasn't driving this thing all the way home just for a little bit of speed. All right. I was ambiguously told about this that it's not what I remember. People were real cool about no spoilers, which was very neat. But I was pretty clearly told this is not how I remember it from the Hardcore Creator series. But yeah, if we've got Terra tokens just pop it into existence like that, then we definitely have the trade rocket unlocked. We only have 2 food. We've got a bajillion oxygen canisters. Man, getting a lot of all sorts of good stuff. And just like that, with all of our crazy storage, we are now full. Yeah, but like I said, that's actually the reason why I brought the truck in the first place. Oh no! Wait a minute. Since when does it starts melting at a GTI and not starts melting at a certain Kelvin? Damn. Well, I was kind of deliberately ambiguous with my target, and you guys were deliberately ambiguous with your comments. And yeah, you guys knew exactly what I was thinking, exactly where I was going, and you knew exactly what I thought I was going to do. So yeah, good on you guys. Although this does not give me cause for concern. Well, it gives me cause for concern as to how I'm going to get to 32 GTI, because oh boy, that's not a small number. But kind of secondary, what else am I going to do for this episode? Oh, man, I thought I took everything out of this thing. I thought I got every pulsar off the ground. Okay, that's cool. All right, so we've got some machines. We've got the tier 2 extractors, which allows us to get pretty much every mineable resource that is mineable. We do have auto crafting, but I kind of hold off on auto crafting because I don't really see the point until you get drones. You know, until you can automate the delivery method of the things that you want to auto craft, having the auto crafters out and down, that doesn't seem fruitful. So the osmium cave. That's actually an osmium cave that I very easily get lost in. I know, me get lost? Perish the thought, right? No one has ever watched a single episode of anything that I've ever done and watched me get lost. It's just unheard of. That's going right directly back into the osmium, isn't it? Where the hell? Where are we? Okay, so the Pulsar Cave got a bit of an update, because that pathway was not always there. Well, good news, we are heading home absolutely overloaded. The truck is completely full. Our inventory is 97% full. We do have a little bit of creative driving to get home, but not the end of the world. Okay, we gotta get home and check our email. One of those is... Okay, I was gonna say, one of those messages about the trade rocket, I can't even imagine what the other one would be. I mean, am I so out of touch and out of practice that I'm forgetting what the messages are now? I am really hopeful that they fix the controls, though, because LT is brake. Like that's just how anything with a vehicle goes. RT is the gas, LT is the brake. And as of yet, I still haven't seen any I haven't seen any control options for how to flip them back the other way. So yeah, holding LT to move forward is very awkward. Oh crap, there is box, okay. I would imagine it probably searched all the of course not, okay. Totally thought it did. There's not a single blank space in here, there is not. Well. Okay, we can make our own fabric, but funny thing is, because fabric is such a late unlock, I kind of tend to hoard it anyway. Like, I've always got it ingrained into me that, you know, oh, this is a thing you need later on. Okay, well, this is fine. I mean, we all knew the thing wasn't going to fly. We knew it was coming. It was going to have 4 wheels, and it was going to drive. Funny thing is, we've requested this thing for probably about 2 years now, and they finally delivered. And it was also something that one of the very first core starter developers he always wanted it. Like it was always a back burner thing, and always I hope and I wish I can get it. So he did actually manage to get the vehicle in, which he did always say was going to be a post 1.0 thing. So it really just means that we're gonna have to get a little bit more creative with how we traverse the map, because there's a ton of easy ways of getting around the map via flying, but if you have this big heavy vehicle, you're gonna need to get a little bit more lenient with the terrain, basically, because the thing's got unimaginable torque. Like it'll climb, well over a 45-degree angle, but even still, clearly getting out of the sand falls is not a thing that we're going to be able to do. Not on wheels, anyway. All right, let's get this guy parked back up. And, oh man, we're going to have a lot of inventory to empty. I'll take care of that and see you guys in a sec. Okay, well, that took surprisingly longer than I expected to. Yeah, that's going to need to happen. And thanks to our little excursion there, we actually do have the zeolite for it. Well, not that would have been a problem anyway, because we do have the zeolite extractor. And we are now rapidly running out of slots. Never mind, we got it. And just like that, we are immediately back down to 0 zeolite. But again, not a problem. We've already got the extractor down. We can go get whenever we want it, or whenever we need it. How far are we from drones? Like, shouldn't that be oh my. Really? I don't know why I expected that to be so much closer. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that too. Oh, okay, we got to get numbers moving then. Which, yeah, heat we're done with. Oxygen, we've got a little bit. Oh crap, the water life collector. We do need that because that is critical for animal numbers. And yeah, we do need a little bit of pressure as well. Who's trying to get a hold of us? So we got one from Sentinel and one from Riley. Larva. We've been at that stage already. Weird. Alright, and Riley's probably going to send us the message about... Oh, yeah, the space trading, okay. Okay, well, that's no sweat. Yeah, for some reason I thought I was getting, I don't know, some sort of new additional message that I hadn't seen before, but no. If oxygen and pressure are our biggest concerns, then we've got these terrible, level 3 drills, I think it is. Yeah, so we got some level 3s. We've got access to the 4s. We've got as much super and as much osmium as we want. And more importantly, we've got access to, we only have the one pressure fuse. But that one pressure fuse is in a level 1 accelerator, not a level 2. Alright, let's start switching some around. Alright, well, first off, one of the first things that I was saying right at the start of this series was, the second you have access to something new, you should tear down the old thing. Now, I was kind of at a little bit of a limbo for this one because we were really, really jonesing for the pressure, so we didn't have the power to really get into the level of drills that I wanted to get into. But now we've got pretty much limitless power. You know, we're looking at fusion technology here, so we can power roughly anything we want. Now, we aren't mining or creating. Now that I think about it, once upon a time, the pulsar quartz could be created, then couldn't be created, then they made it craftable again. I'm honestly not 100% certain if they're craftable right now. I would imagine they probably are. And if they're not craftable, then they're probably mineable. But we're not at that point yet. I have only a cursory glance inside the rainbow caves that are over there. So I haven't put any machines down or anything like that. All right, so let's get one of these slapped down. Get it with the pressure fuse. How many did you sustain? 8? Was it an 8 or a 6? 8. All right, killer. Well, we've got 3. We need 5 more. We only got the super for 3. Also, crap with the space. This might need to move to a slightly flatter location. Well, you know what? I did it with that. Yeah, let's start moving some stuff. All right, so the thing can handle 8, and we've got 5, and we ran out of super. We should have the osmium for 2 more. We have the osmium for 1 more. So I guess first order of business, we'll go out to the super cave, snag up a bunch of that, get to the osmium cave, get a handful of that. Speaking of super, what color is this? Oh, never mind. We want that. That's gonna hit directly on my house, isn't it? Nope, narrowly missed. Now the thing is, this is gonna be quite the pain to get any of that out of there until the rock dissipates. That was actually kind of a source of contention in some of the comments. I was talking about meteors that were coming down like via rockets, and then naturally occurring ones. I was always under the assumption and always under the impression that when a meteor hits, eventually the rock, like just the rubble stuff, you know, whatever was glowing inside the rock, if there was one of the glowing ones, and then all of the, you know, just dirt stuff, that dissipates. Oh, wow, we were kicking goals in some directions and not others. Interesting. But anyway, I was talking about how I was always under the impression that the rock will dissipate, but then whatever it delivered, like its payload, was going to stick around for a while. Now, some people were saying, oh, that's true for this meteor, but not for that one. And other people are saying, no, it's only for called down meteors, but the naturally occurring meteors will dissipate everything. And then some were saying, oh, yeah, you're right about, you know, oh, it stays until log out. Once you log out, everything's gone. And others were saying, no, it's not. That, you know, everything will stay even after log out. Now, I know that some things do get a little buggy with log out. I remember I got hit with an iridium meteor. And this was, I think, in the hardcore crater playthrough. I got hit with an iridium meteor. It landed directly on the house. The iridium ore somehow bugged through the ceiling and landed inside my large tier 2 crafter. And I obviously, you can't retrieve anything through it, you know, because it's a solid pane of glass. So I basically had a pet iridium ore there, and it stayed there for several episodes and then just disappeared. Yeah, right, I guess just take everything. I probably could have brought the truck for this. As slow as it would have been, it would have held more. That's going to be an interesting play going forward. You know, when do we want to take the truck and when do we not? Because the thing is, there are going to be situations where just flying is going to be so much faster than the drive. You know, not only do we have to contend with terrain, whereas jetpack just hovers right over everything it wants, but the speed, for now, the speed of a jetpack is going to be pretty significantly faster than the speed of the rover. That is obviously going to change at some point. You know, as we saw in the update video, that rover moves faster than anything so far. So it might come to pass where, we're going to have options of, oh, do we really need the storage capacity right now? Or do we just want to race right out, get whatever done that we needed to get done, and then fly back? Now, granted, a lot of that's going to go right out the window once we get teleporter technology, but I think we're a pretty good distance away from that anyway, so I don't think that's really entering the discussion anytime soon. Although I also wouldn't have thought that farms were entering the discussion anytime soon either. God, we need drones. Also, our current storage situation is absolute hot garbage. We don't have access to the really fancy high-end TARDIS lockers yet, but also without the drones, I was kind of hoping to wait for some automation process. Where'd you go? I just saw you a second ago. They were high. Yeah, we're kind of relegated to these uncommons. I did spend a pretty good chunk of time wandering around the Mushroom River area. I was hoping to track down some of those pink ones. There's a slightly advanced form of butterfly that you can just pick it up right off the ground. You don't really need to do anything with it. You don't need to do add some mutagen, add some fertilizer, and, have it cook for a little bit. You just get it. And given that I seem to be really accelerated on certain aspects of the terraformation process, but then really lagging behind on others, I was hoping to kind of catch myself up on that insect stage by just picking up garbage larvae. It seems like no such luck. Oh. But we do have that. And fancy advanced larva does drop in that third story location zone. That might be worth just sticking our head in and wandering for a little bit. Well, crap, I didn't exactly count. I was hoping to just get enough super out of there, but we can always make it. I mean, at this stage, we're not exactly hurting for the aluminum. We've got a million solar panels we can tear down over here. We just tore down a ton of drills. If anything, it's actually weird stuff like magnesium and cobalt, silicon that we're hurting on for making our own super right now. Are you within range? I really hope so. Alright, yeah, appears everybody's in range. Alright, so we've got 8. The cool thing about these guys is they can handle multiple fuses. And the fuses do stack. So you can put a pressure fuse and then another pressure fuse. Oh. I forgot all about that part. I don't think we can... We don't have that. Is that a blueprint or is that a TI? Oh, thank God. Also, I didn't think that was an actual stage. For some reason, I had it in my head that just came along between stages. But oh, thank God. Also, we have the butterfly dome, but we don't have any butterfly producers. Oh, you absolute walnut. You got that, though, at some point. Man, I would have sworn we had some pre-existing tree seeds already. In fact, I thought we had exactly 2. Am I imagining things? I swear we've got tree seeds. Well, I'm completely insane. All right, now I know I'm not crazy on that one. There was definitely a Volnus out here somewhere. Also, what are you? Why are you a level 1? Is that all I have access to? No. Well, no wonder my, there we go. I was gonna say, no wonder my plant and oxygen is lagging behind when I'm sitting here with just level 1 flower spreaders. Okay, no, some of them are tier 2. So really what happened was I was in complete dereliction of any sort of housekeeping. Sheesh. Whatever, let's just get this stuff out of my inventory so I don't have to worry about carrying it so much. Yeah, give me 2 of them. This is going to do absolute wonders for my frame rate, but I want things consolidated. Because what we're going to do is tear down all of these, tear down the accelerators. We're going to put probably just the one tier 2 over there, load it with, what do we have for fuses? We've got 2 oxygen and 2 plant, I think. Yeah, so probably throw in 1 oxygen and 2 plant then. You know, I just said, oh, I started this series with saying, anytime you have access to a superior item, tear down the previous crappy ones and get the best thing, you know, your best foot going forward. And I immediately proceeded to just straight up not do that. All right, so if one tier 2 accelerator can handle 8 machines, we've got the two tree spreaders here, and I'm thinking I'm going to be good with that just because to be perfectly honest, I'm not going to want to wait. Like, we've got 1 tree seed sequencing now. I've got access to another one that I'm going to have sequenced up. I really actually went with 2, just for the sole purpose that I thought I already had 2 tree seeds lying around. And I thought on one of our wrecks that we raided here, we'd already picked some up. But I've searched every container and I'm just not tracking them. Yeah, no gots. Oh well, that sucks. Alright, well, you know what? Change of plan. We've got the power for it and we've got the obsidian for it. So instead of choosing which we want to up, you know, whether it's the oxygen or the plants, we've got 3 oxygen fuses and 2 plant fuses. So why choose? The tier 2 accelerator holds 3 of each, so might as well just fill them up. Alright, here we go. That's what I was waiting on. So the rock dissipates, but the drops do not. Although now I'm out here in another storm, and this one looks like a generic garbage storm. Meh. Oh, nice. I think that might be our first butterfly, right? Because you start off with just the bees and what, like maybe the silkworm or something? Oh no, it's just the first decent one. Oh, I was not aware that we could do that. Okay, oxygen is moving real nicely, biomass is moving real nicely, and just the overall TI is actually moving pretty decent. It can go faster. It can always go faster. We've got a little bit of tokens, but we can't even spend them. Yeah, well, what did we actually walk out of there with? 100 and... Alright, 200. I think some of the baseline stuff that you might want is like 250 for some of the earliest stuff. But even still, we don't have the tier 2 deconstructor yet, so we can't even get the circuit boards. I want to say I'm... Okay, cool. We literally don't even have the butterfly... We don't have the butterfly generator, and we have the display box. But I'm reasonably certain that the deconstructor isn't an unlock. I think it's a blueprint. So we might be waiting on this for a little bit. We got an awful lot of Lerma lying around. You know, that might be next time's intro. Maybe I'll slam together just a ridiculous amount of rockets, and that'll be next week's intro. Just Lerma rocket, Lerma rocket, Lerma rocket, and then just make the biomass really go completely out of control. Because the thing is, these fuses do stack. So you can see that the plant's plus, and it's plus 1,000%, and then plus 1675. That's because of 2 plant fuses and 3 oxygen fuses. So all of this is kicking pretty hard. Well, it's kicking as hard as it can. 5 PPT is not really... but that's fine. With how fast other things are progressing, we're probably going to get those tier 2 free spreaders sooner than later. I mean, yeah, we're a third of the way to the tier 3s, and I don't even remember what makes the tier 2s. Like what the unlock for it is. Oh, right, genetic synthesizer. That's the, that's when you're getting into animals. What the hell's tier 2? The genetic extractor I think is also for animals. Oh, interesting. It'll just give you free larvae. That's cool. But we started this episode with a very defined task and a very defined expectation of what we were shooting for. We totally 100% did not get that. So I think I already have an idea for next week. We're just gonna go rob everything. Maybe I'll do a little mill around the housework, and that'll be the intro that I'm now experimenting with. I'm kind of starting to like it, and it seems like you guys are too. So we'll do some real quick housework, and I'm thinking we're just gonna go rob several places. What's left on the list? We hit the ladders in the crater. We hit all three of the starting location ones, the big capital ship here, the little round one, and the sizable one that's up on the hill. We hit the crappy little wrecks out in the aluminum fields. We hit the little fighter jet scout thing over here in the little swampy river area. I know of at least two that would probably be some good targets next week. There's a Stargate over yonder, and there's a pretty sizable one over by the waterfall. Now, I don't want to go too ham on the smash and grabs, just because, every stage you wait, your drops get that much better. But honestly, right now, I'm kind of less concerned about drops and more concerned about blueprint chips. Like, we've got a ton of unlocks to get for the truck. And we also need that tier 2 deconstructor. Like, that's got to be a high priority. But that's going to be a priority for next week. We have bees. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me in this episode of Planet Crafter, and I hope to see you in the next one. This is 7. Bye.